Versus Dave and Bambi. For those who don't know, Versus Dave and Bambi is a mod that I made a two-parter history video about, discussing the origins of the mod and just going for the mod itself. But what became of Versus Dave and Bambi? What came after it? Well, in November of 2021, two demos for two songs were released, Disruption and Apple Core. Created by Grantaire, now known as Sky, which is funny considering Sky is the name of an FNF character. I'll just call it Grantaire Sky for short. I'm just gonna call him Grantaire since that's what that person used to be called. Now, originally, Grantaire made Disruption as just like another one of those fan-made Dave and Bambi tracks to kind of throw in the main mod. But then Apple Core came. Just a few days after Disruption, another demo for Apple Core came. Apple Core introduced a brand new Dave and Bambi character named Bendu. Bendu, sort of similar to Bambi. Apple Core was a 5-minute song. It was not much different than other one-song mod demos, but the difference was that Apple Core was banging, as Apple Core not only decided to throw in Bendu, a brand new character, which was pretty common in FNF. And an FNF mod would always have a new character, or would at least feature old characters coming back for another chance. And Apple Core seemed like a new character-focused song, only for Bambi to show up in the middle of it, which leads to the pretty banger moment, I have to say, because Bambi's just awesome. Bambi's awesome, man. Like, what are you gonna do? And there's Bendu. Apple Core really stood out from the crowd, as Apple Core posed a pretty difficult challenge. Not only the mechanics of Bambi's previous fan-made song, Disruption, but this truly started to show that true spam comes a long way. And we came a long way from the days of Furiosity, as well as we came from a long way after the days of just Versus Dave. And can I say that this part's just banging? Yes. True spam. Also, spam's a meat. What am I talking about? However, just when you think Apple Core wasn't already good enough, in comes the biggest surprise afterwards. The little guys running around are called Bambi minions. But yes. The biggest surprise, in the last 2 minutes of Apple Core, for the last 2 minutes of the song, Expunge arrives. Back when the Apple Core demo first released, Expunge proved to be a real challenge. With Expunge's section including his mechanic from the song Unfairness from the 2.5 update, well, let's just say Expunge didn't go easy. The game also tells you, Ghost Tapping is forced off, screw you, fuck you, you have no life. Ghost Tapping's turned off, so you're basically forced to spam your way while also reading notes spinning in a circle. Cause that is fair, I guess. Now, after the glorious success of Apple Core, Grantaire decided to gather up a bunch of people, and all those people would eventually make Friday Night Funkin' Versus Dave and Bambi Golden Apple Edition, a fan-made expansion of Versus Dave and Bambi that included not only Disruption and Apple Core, but would include a slew of other tracks. tracks such as Disability, Wireframe, as well as Algebra. Algebra being the big hitter, as Algebra was a reference to one of Moldy GH's previous mods, as Algebra was a reference to Dave's Fun Algebra class, which I referenced in my Dave and Bambi history video. But Dave's Fun Algebra class really comes in. You face against Dave, but the mod calls it OG Dave, considering it's the Dave from the original Dave's Fun Algebra class and not from the mod. Not from the versus Dave and Bambi mod, no. You go up against the original Dave, or OG Dave. But we'll get to that one later. Anyways, Dave's Fun Algebra class, well, includes a slew of characters. You got Play Robot, you have Alien Monitor, you have the delightful character of Garrett. Rest in peace, Garrett. You shall be missed. Although, I hope Jumpman25 thinks about that decision for a moment, because it seems the FNF community really uproared after Garrett's removal. They went crying mourning. I'm pretty sure the FNF subreddit went crazy when mourning. I feel bad for Garrett being removed in his entire ferocious animal class. Garrett's funny animal class. That sounds like a fun name. Oh yeah. Anyways, Golden Apple was pretty good. However, after Algebra came the extra section. Extras felt like a semi-free play menu, as Extras was basically an incarnated free play menu, but without the main songs in it. Instead, Extras was a free play menu that included a bunch of songs. There was a multitude of songs, from Sugar Rush to Origin to a bunch of original characters. Bam Bomb, Ringy, Bendu, yes, Bendu, Bednu, not Bandu, don't get that mixed up. And then there were two covers. One with a character known as Sart Producer, made by one of the devs, Ruby. Sart Producer appearing in his own title song, and Sart Producer appearing in a cover of Cycles from the Sonic.exe mod. Another cover was Dave singing Saruki's song Thunderstorm from the Shaggy version 2.5 update, which, was nice. And while I have heard the original Thunderstorm, and I absolutely adored the Hotline 24 version of Thunderstorm, I also have a soft spot for the Dave cover of Thunderstorm, mostly because it's banging as hell. Not only were there a couple of extra songs, the original version 1 of Golden Apple finished off with two secret songs. Dave X Bambi Shipping Queue. Wait, what the fuck? And Dave X Bambi Shipping Queue. What the And then there was Recovered Project. Recovered Project, I didn't know at the time, but the character in Recovered Project is supposed to be the 3D Dave from Versus Dave and Bambi Alpha 6 and Alpha 9. So that's a cool reference. It's also supposed to be a reference to MS Paint or 3D Studio, I guess. I don't know. I can't count. After Versus Dave and Bambi's glorious and magnitude success, Versus Dave and Bambi would get a small version 1.1 update that would add a few things. First off, in the version 1.1 update, Bam Bomb's song Strawberry got updated, and a new cover, Ugh, was added. Yes, Ugh from week 7, mostly because that the song Origin Bandu's song Origin had a motif from Ugh. So it only makes sense to have Origin Bandu sing the Ugh cover. It even replaces the with the F word, which I feel was just genius. They should have got Marcel to do an Ugh sound effect, because that would have made it even more better. You got the voice of Bambi and the voice for the other characters making the Ugh sound that Tankman is infamous for. The Ugh. After after 1.1 came the massive 1.2 update. Version 1.2 update added so much more. It made versus Dave and Bambi go from almost an hour to literally 2 hours long. So yeah, that's fun. New songs added. Deformation, which I can only presume features deformed versions of Dave, Bendu, and Expunge. But after reading the wiki, I found out that it's algebra tricks and butcher tricks, as well as bad tricks, which are apparently creations of Expunge. So yeah, Expunge has the power to create characters. Next is Ferocious, my favorite. Ferocious was the big hitter. I know you're hacking. Ferocious clocks at a numerous 15 minutes long. However, Ferocious cannot beat out Little Man 2. With Little Man 2 clocking at 22 minutes, Spirit Power Possession, and then there's Splitathon 2, which is almost 1 hour long, and I recently found out that the record holder for the longest FNF song is apparently Contentment, from a Dave and Bambi Hortas edition, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. But apparently, Contentment is a fan-made Dave and Bambi song that clocks at 1 hour and 30 minutes. 1 hour and 30 minutes. The video on Dave and Bambi Golden Apple version 1.2 release by Grantaire is only 1 hour and 34 minutes, along with 38 seconds. Contentment almost reaches the length of Grantaire's version 1.2 Golden Apple video. How? Why? Then free play extras got buffed up to shit. Alright, so to break it down, I'll just let the big dingle play. So the extras section got buffed up to hell. Extras is the main bulk and meat of the mod of the version 1.2 update, as extras is now the main bulk and meat, as it includes a crap ton of new songs. Bandu got Gift Card, a song made by Seville, and Gift Card also has a bit where it turns 8-bit, which apparently, according to the devs, the Bandu scene is supposed to be a remnant of a 8-bit version of Bandu meant for a song that Moldy GH made called Chippy. Yeah, Moldy GH actually collaborated with the mod with Golden Apple, though Moldy GH was given the restriction of only making one song, which I felt like was kind of just mean. I mean, Moldy GH is the main producer of Dave and Bambi. Like, Moldy GH is the person that made Dave and Bambi. At least give him a special permission to at least have like 2 songs. By only giving him the permission to only make one song, I felt like that's a bit disrespectful. But the 2 songs that Moldy GH made are both great. Chippy is sort of a chiptune song, which I find kind of enjoyable. And then there's Ready Loud, which actually made it into the version 1.2 update. I guess there was a debate going on whether to add Chippy or Ready Loud, but Ready Loud went by a landslide, so I guess that went in. Other noteworthy songs include The Big Dingle, and these faces traumatized me for the rest of my life. And Donk also looks like he wants to murder me. Get out. Other characters and other delightful spinsters include Dale, which apparently to the devs, Dale is swag and Dale likes meat. That's the only information I can give on this psychopath. He lives in a meat closet. He lives in the local Walmart freezer sections, and he likes to stalk and murder children. My favorite childhood nightmare accentuated. And then we have Apprentice with Tristan, who becomes 3D because apparently Tristan just has the power to do so. Also, it's called the Tristan fan club. And then there's Resumed. Because apparently we needed this to exist. Also, when you use the pixelated when you use the Pixel boyfriend skin, apparently Pixel girlfriend and Pixel BF are shrunken down to the size of ants. So I don't know what the fuck is with that. Why is Pixel... What do you mean curiosities? What? You're gonna show me my dignity? Oh. Dumbu and Dambi? I'm pretty sure they're their names. I don't fucking know. Then we have the song Moldy GH made. Ready Loud. Apparently... Ready Loud is apparently a Okay, let me pause it for a moment. Ready Loud is the song Moldy GH made for Golden Apple, and Ready Loud is apparently a reference to a Marcelo video where Marcelo played One Night at Flumpty's 2, which I can only imagine what kind of horrors awaited for Marcelo. And apparently Bandu is supposed to be Marcelo in this situation, and your main opponent is Flumpty, which I think is kind of cool because Flumpty hasn't gotten any recognition in the Friday Night Funkin' community, which I feel is a bit sad because Flumpty has 3 games under his belt. You would think that Flumpty would get a recognition, at least like a mod for him and his pals, but apparently no. And while I was saying One Night at Flumpty's 2, which I know because I saw, I saw Jonachrome's developer commentary videos, which neat. Also, shout out to Jonachrome for One Night at Flumpty's blessing us with this Eggman. So that's neither here or there. Bookworm. No. And then we get to one of my favorites. It's Cube Root with Dave. And this time, an actual 3D model of Bambi's normal form. How funny. Because the previous Bambi model, it looked like shit. It was basically just Expunge, except if Bambi took the place of Expunge. Which is kind of what Expunge did. But now we have an actual Bambi model that's an actual 3D Bambi model that actually fits with his normal design. That's neat. Also, there's a reference to Insanity, and it makes my eyes want to go bleach. Ah, what is next? Who's that in the lawn? It's Alternate, known by as the name David. The song is made by Wildy. If you know Wildy, then you know that Wildy is the person that made the Versus Bob mod. No, not Bob and Bosip. I mean just Bob. Or, as abbreviated, literally every FNF mod ever. So yeah, that's just fun. And then we get to Mr. I'm wielding a gun and I want to kill you. His name is Unhinged Dave, and given what he looks like, this man is clearly 100% unhinged. Thank you, Dave and Bambi Golden Apple team. Also, yes, Among Us reference. I don't give a fuck. Theft. Just theft, and Garrett looks derp as hell. I didn't mention there's 2 shiny with I'm gonna get ya. But then what's after extras? Well, there's a whole other categories. OCs. There is an entire other set of categories. What we just played was for the extras. There's now OCs, Joke, If You Know, You Know, Top 10 Awesome, and finally Secret. Top 10 Awesome is going to be saved later, so why don't we just stick to what we have. OCs. Metallic, Ringy's old song, got replaced with Tantalum. Strawberry still remains the same. Keyboard got updated, and a new OC for the song Sillier was added. Sillier features an OC created by BMV277, the creator of the Versus Sponge mod, which that's just okay. Didn't know the Versus Sponge creator. Like, jeez, I didn't know there were a few popular mod developers in here. You got Moldy GH, you got BMV277. Wait, Gorbini? Gorbini, the guy who made the Versus Rascals? Hell yes, please. Now we're good to Joke, because Sillier is just fun. But now we get to the joke section, and I recommend you turn down your volume because it's about to get loud as fuck. Prepare for your ears to get destroyed, because your ears are about to get smashed. Listen to this, Dave's awesome son. Yeah, yeah. Yes, this is spam. Fuck you. Holy sh... Holy shit, that was insane.
Boop doop boop-a-doop, boop doop boop-a-doop, boop doop
Boop-a-doo.
boop-a-doop-a-doop.
Cinda needs to go to prison. So, after seeing some Oscar-nominated glory, some songs that deserve an Oscar, I'm just joking, now we get to If You Know, You Know, which includes 3 songs, Galactic, Sick Tricks, and my favorite song from Golden Apple, OG. You'll understand, but before we get into that, let's cover the other 2 songs. Both are references to very specific things if you're not an FNF historian like me. Sick Tricks is a reference to Dave cosplayers on Roblox. That's basically the entire thing. So yeah, that's just something that exists. Galactic is a reference to the Joke Bambi from the original Versus Dave and Bambi mod. Joke Bambi was basically just Bambi, except that it was just Bambi's design from the Versus Bambi update, from the old days of Versus Dave, and from Beta 2, until, you know, Bambi's design actually got finalized. So this is just, it's called Supernovea Bambi, which is a reference to Supernovea, which is a song that Arc Wiki made for Clone Hero, and got put into the Versus Dave and Bambi mod. So that's about all. My favorite song is OG. If you're wondering why OG is my favorite song, here's the rundown. OG is a massive reference to the pre-alpha version of Versus Dave and Bambi. When I said pre-alpha, I mean it, because the character here is literally titled Pre-Alpha Dave. This is how Dave used to look like, and if you see my Versus Dave and Bambi history video, part 1, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. This is the Dave that used to be in the mod, long before the days of the alphas and the betas. This was pre-alpha Dave. He was basically Daddy Dearest, just completely white, with he looked like bleached. But OG is definitely my favorite song, and many people like this song, including me. And many people say that the middle point is the best part, and I'll show. So after that delightful dancing, we have Top 10 Awesome, which only accentuates what kind of feelings I have. Top 10 awesome. This is the icon and I hate it. Slices, Berbrongle, Clit, as well as the Will Among Us penis sex and the Willy Walter rap. As well as FL keys for another FNF mod, Radical 1. We don't talk about slices, because band dudes the Oh, that's right, I forgot about covers. What ended up happening was that the Cycles cover got removed, but in its place, 3 new covers. Collision from versus Young Lao, which is a Spanish rapper. Left Unchecked from Hypno's Lullaby. Sunshine from the Sonic.exe mod, so that's lovely. And on a final note, 2 extra songs in Secrets title Cell and, Ticking, my new favorite song. So yeah, that's it for this.